Èdùmàrè sọ̀rọ̀ mi dayọ̀, mo dúpẹ́. Èdùmàrè sọ̀rọ̀ mi dayọ̀, mo wá ṣọpẹ́. Orí burúkú kì í ṣe tèmi o, mo dúpẹ́. Ìbànújẹ́ kò sí lára mi o, mo wá ṣọpẹ́. Orí burúkú kì í ṣe tèmi o, ẹ̀bẹ̀ mo bẹ̀.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Thank you very much for having us.
My pleasure.
Yes, sir. My name is Olayanju. So, can we meet you, sir?
My name is Prof Olayanju, a professor of agricultural mechanization in the Federal University of Agriculture, Abeokuta.
Thank you, sir. I was made to understand that you've been the Dean of Student Affairs for how long have you been?
I was the Deputy Dean of Students for almost 1.5 years. And as Dean of Students now, I spent like an average of 4 or 5 months.
4 or 5. Okay, sir. So, sir, you've been the Dean of Student Affairs for 4 or 5 months now.
For a semester?
For a semester. So, has there been any challenge, or have there been any challenges so far?
Of course, there will always be challenges. Life is full of challenges, and then that is what makes life to be meaningful. Yes. A life without any challenge will be a dull life. Yes. So if I say there is no challenge, I will be telling lies. Yes, but the one that is prominent is the issue of monitoring of off-campus students. Prior to now, the issue of off-campus has not majorly been the concern of student affairs. We always limit ourselves to the students on campus. But as a result of the unrest of August 2016, that has opened our eyes to the fact that we have to also monitor the accommodation and welfare of our students that are living off campus. So that has been a real challenge, managing our students off campus.
Okay, thank you, sir. So what would you say has been the motivation, the force, the drive that has kept you going so far in your office? So
thank you. The force is love for the youth, particularly students, because I see them as one, my brother, first of all, as brother and sisters. Apart from that, I now see them as my own, because at this stage now, the stage people like us are now, our students are also in the university. I have 2 daughters at the University of Obafemi Awolowo University, and presently my son is about entering. So anytime I relate with students, I see my son, I see my daughters in them. So that has the love for them has been the motivation.
Thank you, sir. So, sir, if you had a chance to, like, stay in that office longer than you have, what would you have done? Like, what would you say would have been your major? Yes, sir.
First thing, like I told, I did the handing over yesterday.
Yes.
At the Swell Mark meeting. That is Senate Committee on Welfare of Hostel Accommodation. And in that place, we sent forth the former Dean, Professor Kebejo Samson, and we also welcomed the new Dean, Professor Babatunde Idowu. And at that point, I told them that one or two things I would have loved to do is the issue of accommodation for fresh students. Prior to now, because most students 100 level, when they come like that, they don't have places to stay. Most of the time, they fall into the hands of crooks, gangsters, and what have you. And before we know it, I said it jokingly, you will start naming babies towards the end of the session. But when I came on board, I said no. So the first thing I did was to have temporary accommodation for the fresh students.
Yes.
But having solved that, having done that did not really solve the problem. And I said, what I will also do is that at the expiration of their temporary, and we are now doing normal allocation, those students that were in temporary were also supposed to compete. And if they don't have accommodation, we now throw them out again. What we are trying to avoid in the first instance, we see now happen. So what I did in this allocation of accommodation this year was to make sure I absorb virtually everyone that is in temporary accommodation. So what I now told them that I will have lot to do next year is to make sure that, like they are doing in Obafemi Awolowo University and some other places, to make sure that 100 level, the fresh students compete and secure accommodation even before the first day that they resume. Yes. So by the time they are resuming, they have already paid for the accommodation, and the next thing is they move in. So the issue of having Gumstar is only people that could not be accommodated, of course, because of the limited spaces, will now be the one that will be accommodated. So I told them that if they can do that for me, even where I am, I will be happy for it. I just love to have our students on campus. Those fresh students is very, very important.
Yes, and I feel that would be a step further to developing the school campus life and all that in the school.
Yes.
Okay, sir. So is there now that you have become the new VC of Landmark University, congratulations on that.
Thank you, sir.
Is there going to be more of you there? Okay, definitely there's going to be more of you there, but are we still going to be having you in FUNAAB, as a stakeholder in the welfare of students?
Of course, I'm still part and parcel of FUNAAB. So when you have appointment like that, the university system has so done it in such a way that you take what is called leave of absence, which is renewable every year. So even if you are out of the university for 5-10 years, when you are through, you still come back. So you do it on annual basis. Like the university has been magnanimous, and I appreciate them for that, for giving me 1 year in the first instance. So when I'm through, if they still want me, because the position is like for 4 years, then extendable to another 1 year or so. So if one perform well and they still want one, then you can always be renewing. But having said that, my office is still in the university. Officially, I may not be able to be coming in order to teach and do other things. So it will be more of that place. But when there is need, of course, it's still my place. Yes. So I will always, and more so now, the world is now a global village. Yeah. So even if I'm there, often up to now, I'm still admitting people into FUNAAB student affairs on Facebook and even on WhatsApp. But one thing I've done is also to make the new dean an administrator and some staff of student affairs, so that thing will go on. That's another one thing that we did that brought the division closer to the student. Before we send hard copy of memo, students have already seen it on Facebook. They have reacted on WhatsApp. Prior to now, there was nothing like that, and I want to thank God for that. It has really helped us. It has really bridged the gap. I also hope that is one of the things I would love to do also, to sustain that. I only hope there are people that are coming also will be able to sustain that. I will not say, go and face your book, don't Facebook. We can't run away from it. It has become part and parcel of learning. Social media, some people can use it for negativity, but most of the time, the positive aspect of it is, it overshadow that of the negative aspect.
Thank you very much for having us.
My pleasure.
On the last note, on a parting note, is there anything you'd like to say to when I heard you talk yesterday? I felt okay. At first, I made a decision. I don't think I want to become an academician. I don't think I want to become a BC or something. But having seen you and a couple of people, I felt life is not for you to determine what happens.
Yes.
You strive. You try to become what you want to be. But the ultimate goal is what God wants you to be. So would you say the God factor is a major influence in what you've become now, or it's a personal
Thank you very much. I remember as a student, let's start by saying, somebody said your background does not mean your back should be on the ground. Once you realize that, because as a student, I used to have this now around my clothes that say Christ in me makes the difference. I'm not the best of Christian, we still do the normal thing, but there's always a pull from God. The Bible says, why men slept, the enemy showed it us. But by the time God is always a kind of guiding me. I want to appreciate him for that. Anytime one want to move away, he either spark me, like you spark baby. Normally, we spark me and draw me back. And I've enjoyed that very much. I want to thank God for that. So the God factor has always been on him. Now talking about the issue of academics, honestly, is the way the country is being run. Academic is not something that we should look at with just mere eyes, because academics has gone beyond what we are thinking about. It affects our thinking, it affects everything we do. So I want to encourage the young one, let's go into it. But while in academics, we should also look at what we can use our hands to do. I tell my daughters, you may have PhD, you may have this. If you don't know how to cook for your husband, forget it. So you must be able to use your hand. Me, myself, I came from a let me say humble background, let me even say poor. But my father taught me how to design clothes. They call it draping. Yoruba call it jacan. I can do what is called agbada, I can do shakpara, I can do all this. We can use thread for both up and down. And that was what I used, especially myself, throughout university days. So if I've not gotten that, I wonder where would I have been today. So what I'm saying is that while you are still focusing along the line, all this you are doing now, and that's why I appreciate, honestly, my love for FUNAAB students is undaunted. Because I know most of you, what we couldn't do in our own time, most of you are now doing very good. You are doing very well in the area of all this social media. You have your businesses that you are running, and these are the things that help. Gone are the days when you go and be doing fine or whatever. Nobody is saying you should not do that, but there are things you can do that it doesn't have to be a kind of Yahoo thing for you to survive. Honestly, a lot of you already got what you can fall back on, even by the time you graduate. And that's the end thing now. That's the way to go.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
My pleasure.
So do you have anything you want to say to somebody who is listening to you or who is watching you and is discouraged or something, and you feel, okay, I can say this thing to this person to help? Is there anything you feel you can just say to the person?
I just want to tell people out there that no matter what you are going through, you are not the first person. And just know that our God is there. He's able. We should rely on him. No matter what we have, no matter what we think we are passing through, it's for a moment. It's just, in fact, it says passing through. It doesn't say we will stay there. When you are passing through something, so that songwriter say, if you are going through keep moving, don't stop, don't stop, don't stop. So once you don't stop, you can see that whatever you do, whatever you pass through now, is preparing you. Nobody gets gold without passing through the furnace. And the experience of the furnace is not just a joke. You have to shape some weight, some things that will not allow you to go. You have to shape them. And if you refuse to drop them, God will spark you and move you on. But at that point in time, don't think God hates you. He's preparing you. Some of us are testimony. We have passed through that before, and we want to thank God today. Here we are, and we know He's still taking us to places. And let me tell you, you people, the way I'm seeing you, you will still beat us to it. You will be greater than us. I love you, and I want to appreciate you for this special opportunity to talk with the Bees. Okay, the Bees.
The Bees Nigeria.
The Bees Nigeria. So it's my pleasure. FUNAAB students, I love you. You can always talk on my Facebook. I have 2 platforms, and also on I'm on Twitter, I'm on LinkedIn, I'm on Google Scholar, any social media. No, I'm a social media person. We can always, there is no way we can run away from it. So we love you and see you up there. Thank you and God bless.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.